Welcome to Stoic Love Lessons, where love embraces wisdom. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like someone might be attracted to you, but you just couldn't tell for sure? Maybe it's a coworker, a friend, or someone you see regularly. She smiles at you. Her energy shifts when you're around. But is it just friendliness or something more? Here's the reality. Most men miss it. Women rarely say exactly what they feel. Instead, they speak a different language, one made up of subtle gestures, glances, and actions that, if you're not paying attention, can fly right past you. Society tells you to wait for clear signs, but life doesn't work that way. Attraction often hides in plain sight, wrapped in tiny signals that most men overlook. The good news for you is that you don't have to be one of those men. Once you learn to see these signs, you'll start noticing them everywhere. Imagine the clarity and confidence that would bring. You won't second-guess yourself or get stuck overanalyzing. You'll know, and you'll respond with calm, steady composure, just like a Stoic. Today, we're diving into 5 powerful, unspoken signs that a woman is secretly drawn to you. Once you know them, you'll never look at your interactions the same way again. Ready to uncover the hidden language of attraction? All right, let's dive in. Sign number 1, the lingering glance, her silent conversation. Let's start with the eyes, because the eyes never lie. Have you ever felt someone's gaze lingering on you just a little longer than expected? You glance around the room, and there she is, holding eye contact for an extra beat. Not a quick glance, not a casual look. It feels intentional, doesn't it? And maybe just for a moment you start wondering, was that meant for me? It probably was. A woman's glance, especially one that lingers, is rarely random. It's a silent conversation, a way of saying, I'm curious about you. Are you curious about me? Here's where most men get it wrong. They either panic and look away too quickly, breaking the connection, or they overthink it, second-guessing themselves into complete confusion. Did I imagine that? Was it nothing? Just like that, the moment slips away. But a Stoic man knows better. He doesn't overanalyze or jump to conclusions. He stays calm, composed, and present. When he catches that lingering glance, he holds it, not too long, not too intense, just long enough to acknowledge her with a slight smile or a nod. That's it. No need to overplay it, no need to chase it. Presence speaks louder than words. Think about this. Eye contact is one of the most intimate forms of communication we have. It's primal. Our ancestors locked eyes to signal trust, safety, or interest. Even today, psychologists tell us that prolonged eye contact creates a sense of closeness. It triggers something deep inside, something beyond words. And there's even a biological response. Did you know that when we're attracted to someone, our pupils naturally dilate? It's involuntary. Her body is giving away what her words want to hide. So, if you notice her gaze lingering, along with that softness in her expression or a hint of warmth in her eyes, pay attention. But don't confuse confidence with arrogance. There's a difference between calm, grounded presence and overbearing intensity. You're not staring her down. You're simply holding the connection. You're showing her, without words, that you're attuned, aware, and steady. So next time you catch someone's eyes lingering on you, don't brush it off. Don't look away out of fear, and don't stare like a deer in headlights. Be calm, be present, hold her gaze, give a slight smile, and then move on like a man who knows his worth. A lingering glance is never just a glance. It's an invitation to connect. And if you're grounded enough to notice, it might just be the beginning of something deeper. Sign number 2, subtle touch, the unspoken connection. Let's talk about something even more powerful than eye contact: touch. Think about this. Before humans had language, we had touch. A hug, a pat on the back, a hand on someone's shoulder. These were the first ways we connected. And even now, in a world full of words and screens, touch remains one of the most intimate ways to communicate. Touch is never random. When a woman reaches out to touch you, whether it's a light tap on your arm, a playful nudge, or brushing something off your shirt, it's not an accident. It's deliberate. It's intentional. It's her way of saying, I feel comfortable with you. I trust you. I want to be closer to you. And this is huge. People don't touch those they don't trust. Now, most men either miss the signal completely or overreact, and both responses can ruin the moment. If you don't notice her touch, she might pull back, thinking you're not interested. If you make a big deal out of it, you risk coming off as needy or over-eager. A Stoic man takes a different approach. He understands that touch is a gift, a small gesture that carries big emotional weight. He doesn't cling to it. He doesn't overanalyze it. He simply acknowledges it with calm awareness. Imagine you're in a conversation and she lightly taps your arm while laughing at something you said. You don't flinch. You don't pull away. You smile warmly, maybe return the touch with a light gesture, and then carry on. No big reaction, no awkwardness, just steady, composed presence. Because a subtle touch says more than words ever could. Think about this. If someone brushes your hand or places their hand on your shoulder, you feel it, right? There's an energy in that connection. It lingers. And that's what makes touch so powerful. It creates a bridge between two people, a shared moment of trust and intimacy, but it's also vulnerable. When a woman touches you, even in a small way, she's taking a risk. She's testing the waters to see how you'll respond. If you freeze up or act oblivious, she might feel rejected. But if you lean in with calm confidence, you build trust. You show her that you're aware, present, and steady. And here's a biological fact most men overlook. Touch releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Even the lightest touch can make someone feel closer to you. It's a natural response. Her body is reacting in ways she might not even realize. But again, the key is balance, confidence, not neediness. A Stoic man doesn't chase touch. He doesn't force it or cling to it. He simply recognizes it for what it is, a gift, and he responds with composure. So the next time you notice her reaching out, a playful tap, a gentle brush, a light touch, don't dismiss it, but don't make it awkward either. Be present, appreciate it. Show her that you see the connection she's building without making her feel uncomfortable. Because in that moment, through that touch, she's saying more than words ever could. And if you're calm, aware, and grounded, you'll hear it loud and clear. So we've made it halfway through, and before diving into the next sign, can I ask for a quick favor? Just hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of the latest videos from this channel. All right, I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's keep going. Sign number 3, emotional openness, when she lets you in. Now let's move beyond glances and touch, because the deepest connection comes when she lets you into her inner world. Think about it. We live in a time where people are constantly guarded. Everyone puts up walls, especially when it comes to emotions. But when a woman starts to lower those walls for you, when she opens up and shares her personal stories, her dreams, her struggles, that's not casual. It's emotional vulnerability, and it's one of the clearest signs she feels something deeper for you. You see, people don't just share their fears or insecurities with anyone. It takes trust. It takes a feeling of safety. If she's confiding in you, she's saying, I trust you to hold this part of me gently. I trust you to see the real me. And that trust, it's a gift. But here's where a lot of men mess up. They hear her problems, and their first instinct is to jump in and try to fix everything. They think they need to play the hero, to solve her struggles, give advice, or offer a solution. The truth is, she's not looking for a fixer. What she really wants is someone who listens. A Stoic man knows that sometimes the best way to support someone is simply to be present. You don't need to rush in with answers. You don't need to save her from her problems. You just need to hold space for her. When she opens up, she's not necessarily asking for a solution. What she wants is empathy, a quiet, steady presence that says, "I hear you, I see you, and I'm not judging you." This emotional openness isn't something that happens with just anyone. It's rare, it's meaningful. It's her way of saying, "I see you as someone I trust, someone I want to build something real with." And research backs this up. Studies show that emotional intimacy is a key foundation for long-lasting relationships. It creates a bond that goes beyond physical attraction, a bond rooted in trust, respect, and mutual understanding. You have to handle these moments with humility. When she shares something vulnerable, don't brush it off. Don't change the subject or make light of it, and don't try to fix it unless she specifically asks for advice. Just listen, be present, make her feel heard. That's what matters most. Think of it like this. When someone invites you into their home, you don't start rearranging the furniture. You respect their space, you appreciate the invitation. It's the same with emotional openness. She's inviting you into her heart. Your role is to listen, appreciate, and respond with kindness, not to take over or offer solutions she didn't ask for. The next time a woman opens up to you, maybe she talks about a difficult day at work, a personal fear, or a past experience. Pay attention. These aren't random conversations, they're windows into her inner world. She's letting you in, and if you respond with empathy, patience, and humility, you deepen the connection. You show her that you're not just someone she can have fun with, you're someone she can trust, and that trust, it's priceless. Sign number 4, mirroring her subconscious connection. Let's talk about something fascinating, mirroring. You might not notice it at first, but if a woman is secretly attracted to you, she'll start to mirror your behavior without even realizing it. This isn't a conscious decision on her part, it's subconscious. It's how humans naturally build connection and rapport. Have you ever noticed someone using the same phrases you use? Or maybe you lean forward in a conversation, and moments later, she does the same. This isn't random. It's her way of creating harmony between you. Her mind is saying, "I want to feel in sync with you." But here's where it gets really interesting. Mirroring isn't just about body language. It goes deeper than that. She might start to show interest in the things you care about. Maybe you mention a favorite band, and suddenly she's listening to their songs. Or you talk about a TV show you love, and next time you see her, she casually brings it up in conversation. This is her way of finding common ground. People want to connect with those they feel drawn to, and when a woman starts to mirror your interests, hobbies, or even your energy, it's a clear sign she's trying to build a deeper connection. She's showing you that she values what you value. But here's the catch. Most men don't notice it. They're too busy thinking the connection has to be loud and obvious, waiting for grand gestures or verbal confessions. Meanwhile, the real signs are happening right in front of them, in the smallest details. A Stoic man, though, he notices. He observes these subtle patterns over time, but he doesn't rush to conclusions. He doesn't assume that just because she listens to the same music or mimics his phrases, she's head over heels. Instead, he looks for consistency. That's the key. One instance doesn't mean much. But when you start to notice these things happening again and again, that's when it becomes significant. Think about this. If someone repeatedly goes out of their way to align with your world, matching your rhythm, mirroring your expressions, even joining in on your passions, that's not coincidence, that's connection. And it's a powerful sign she's genuinely interested. Now let's be real. Mirroring isn't always something people are fully aware of. She might not even realize she's doing it. That's what makes it so authentic. It's not a calculated move. It's her subconscious way of saying, I want us to be on the same page. But here's where we bring it back to Stoicism. We notice without attachment. We don't get caught up in thinking, oh, she's copying me, she must be in love. No, we remain steady, observing these patterns without letting our emotions spiral. We focus on what's consistent because real connection isn't about one big moment. It's about a series of small, meaningful moments that build trust over time. So if you see her mirroring your body language, repeating your phrases, or showing curiosity about the things you love, don't dismiss it. Don't overanalyze it either. Just be present. Appreciate the connection that's quietly forming. Remember, mirroring isn't loud. It's subtle, but it speaks volumes if you know how to listen. Sign number 5. Respectful engagement, when she values your presence. Let's finish with one of the clearest signs of all, respectful engagement. This is where everything comes together. Think about the last time you had a conversation with someone who made you feel truly seen and heard, not just someone nodding politely or waiting for their turn to talk, but someone who listened with real interest, someone who asked thoughtful questions, remembered what you said, and made you feel like your words mattered. Now ask yourself, has she done that for you? When a woman is genuinely interested, she won't settle for surface-level small talk. She'll want to go deeper. She'll ask about your dreams, your struggles, your past, things that go beyond the typical, how's your day? Because for her, you're not just another conversation. And here's the key. She remembers the little things. Maybe you mentioned a project you're working on or a favorite restaurant you love, and the next time you talk, she brings it up. That's not random. That's emotional investment. She's showing you, in her own way, I care about what's important to you. You see, people naturally give more attention and respect to those they feel drawn to. It's human nature. When a woman makes an effort to really engage with you, when she treats your words with care, asks meaningful questions, and listens without distraction, that's not just politeness, it's connection. And this is exactly where a lot of guys tend to get it wrong. They either dismiss this engagement as friendliness or cling to it, hoping for more. A Stoic man doesn't do that. He values this kind of engagement without becoming attached to it. He recognizes it as a sign of genuine interest, but he responds with kindness, humility, and authenticity. Think about how rare it is in today's world to feel truly heard. Most conversations are rushed, distracted, and shallow. People forget details, check their phones, or wait for their chance to speak. So when someone takes the time to really listen, to make you feel like you matter, that's a powerful sign of attraction. And here's the beautiful part. Respectful engagement builds trust. It's not about impressing someone with big gestures. It's about creating a safe space where both people feel valued and trusted. That's the foundation of any meaningful relationship. So how do you know if she values your presence? It's simple. Pay attention to how she interacts with you. Does she ask questions beyond small talk? Does she remember the details you've shared? Does she lean in when you speak, both physically and emotionally? If the answer is yes, then it's clear she sees you as someone important. But remember, a Stoic man doesn't let this go to his head. He doesn't jump to conclusions or get carried away. Instead, he appreciates the connection for what it is. He remains grounded, calm, and present. He responds with authenticity because real connection isn't about impressing someone or seeking validation. It's about showing up with your whole self. Respectful engagement isn't flashy. It's not about grand gestures. It's quiet, steady, and deeply meaningful. When a woman takes the time to engage with you on this level, she's saying more than words ever could. You matter to me. I want to know you better. If you're wise enough to recognize it and calm enough to respond with kindness and humility, you'll see that this kind of connection is the start of something real, something meaningful. Because at the end of the day, respect is the highest form of attraction. It goes beyond appearances. It's about valuing the person in front of you, and that's what makes a relationship truly lasting. Stoic wisdom for navigating these signs. Now that you've learned the 5 signs, let's slow down for a moment and talk about something even more important: how to navigate these signs with a Stoic mindset. Because recognizing attraction is one thing, responding to it with wisdom, calm, and integrity, that's what sets you apart. Let's start with the first principle. Observe without judging. When you notice a lingering glance, a subtle touch, or emotional openness, it's easy to jump to conclusions. She must like me, or worse, maybe I'm imagining things. The mind loves to spin stories, but a Stoic doesn't get caught up in assumptions. You don't overthink every interaction. Instead, you pay attention to consistent patterns over time. Is she repeatedly engaging with you? Does she continue to mirror your behavior, ask thoughtful questions, or create opportunities to connect? That's what matters: consistency. The second principle: respect boundaries. Attraction doesn't mean permission. Just because you notice the signs doesn't mean you rush in. It's about mutual respect. A Stoic man knows how to appreciate someone's interest without forcing the moment or stepping over boundaries. If she's showing signs of attraction, let it unfold naturally. Don't pressure her. Don't push things too fast. Respect her space. Respect her pace. True connection is built on trust, not urgency. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You nurture it with patience. You let it take root. That's what respecting boundaries looks like in relationships. Now the third principle: respond with virtue. Whether you feel the same way about her or not, how you respond says everything about your character. If you're interested, express it with kindness and authenticity. There's no need for games or manipulation. But if you don't feel the same way, handle it with honesty and respect. Don't ghost her. Don't lead her on. A Stoic man acts with integrity, always, because at the core of Stoicism is this truth. We don't control what others feel. We only control how we respond. And here's a key Stoic insight: attachment leads to suffering. When you notice these signs of attraction, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement, but don't let it control you. Don't let your emotions pull you into obsession or neediness. Instead, appreciate the connection for what it is, a beautiful part of life's journey. Human connection is one of life's greatest joys, but it's also fragile. People change, feelings change. That's why Stoics remain grounded. We don't cling to outcomes. We don't seek validation from others. We recognize the value of connection, but we also know that our worth doesn't depend on someone else's attention. So what's the takeaway? Be present, be patient, be respectful. Recognize the signs of attraction. Appreciate them, but stay true to your values. Stay grounded in who you are. That's what makes a Stoic man different. While others chase after fleeting moments, hoping for external validation, you remain steady, calm, confident, and self-assured. Because at the end of the day, the most attractive quality you can bring into any connection is your presence, your ability to stay composed, stay kind, and stay true to yourself. And that's the kind of connection that lasts. Attraction isn't always what you expect. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic confessions. It's quiet, subtle, hidden in the little things: a lingering glance, a gentle touch, a thoughtful question. These moments often speak louder than words. By learning to recognize these signs, you're not just improving your relationships, you're sharpening your awareness. You're becoming someone who sees the world clearly and navigates it with calm confidence and integrity. That's what Stoicism is all about: being present, responding with wisdom, and staying grounded no matter what life brings your way. So next time you notice someone lingering in your presence, mirroring your energy, or opening up emotionally, don't brush it off. Pay attention, be present, and most importantly, be yourself. Because true connection starts when you show up with authenticity and steadiness. Thank you for watching Stoic Love Lessons. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell. Your support keeps us going, bringing more insights on relationships, confidence, and living life the Stoic way. Stay grounded, stay present, and remember, the greatest connections come from quiet moments of awareness. We'd love to hear your thoughts or suggestions for future topics, so drop a comment below. Let's build a community full of wisdom and peace together. See you in the next video.